Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. It's a beautiful morning here, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. It may not sound like it in my voice, but I am actually starting to feel a little bit better. Coming off of a nasty summer cold that laid me out, canceled my stream, and I'm gonna now step under this roof because I just got dripped on and it might start raining. But anyway, shout out to Odin and John F. Trent from Bounding Into Comics for providing this information. You see, I was wondering myself why movie theaters just are not successful anymore. And a lot of people are saying streaming services, or the pandemic, or racism and bigotry and sexism, and why people aren't going out to the movies anymore. Well, I have been saying it. It's because Hollywood has decided to preach instead of entertain. And now there's hard data to back it up. There's hard data, folks. Thank you to John F. Trent from Bounding Into Comics for actually doing all the research. So yes, big shout out to John F. Trent and Bounding Into Comics. It was from their article of why Shang-Chi is looking to be the lowest grossing Marvel film in the MCU. Even worse than the Hulk, or the Incredible Hulk movie. Now, the thing is, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, it's just a bunch of bigots that won't go see these movies anymore. No. Because, here's the thing. When we go to a movie, we want to be entertained. We go for escapism. We go so that we don't have to, be preached at, so we can turn our minds off and escape the rigors and stupidity of real life. We go so that we can watch a movie, kind of turn our brain off, and just be entertained. But the problem is with movies nowadays is that they're focusing too much on agenda pushing, identity politics, white shaming, and yes, that is a thing that they're doing now. And people have stopped going to the theaters. Our voices have been heard. But here's the thing. Hollywood has been blaming it a lot on the pandemic and COVID. Well, here's the thing. The pandemic has been over ever since the vaccines have rolled out. Once you have a counter to something that is a pandemic status, and you have the means to fight it, it's no longer a pandemic. So, there's also them saying that, well, people just aren't going to the theaters anymore because we're bigots. No, we're not bigots. We just don't like being preached at and told what to think by movies. We also do not like the fact that our entertainers, like all these woke celebrities, how they are trying to tell us how to live and saying that we are somehow lesser because we don't agree with their way of life. But here's another great thing. Theaters are not selling out during their ticket showings and whatnot. And they want to blame the pandemic. Well, unfortunately, you can't anymore. You see, hard data, thank you to John F. Trent, has come out that live ticket sales for live events, NASCAR, comedian shows, concerts, and the like, are all selling out. And all having people show up. Now you gotta ask yourself, Hollywood, why are they all selling out, but you're not? Think about it now. Is it because of a pandemic? Or is it because NASCAR, comedy events, and what was it? Oh, right. Concerts all have one thing in common. They're not pandering. They're not trying to tell us how to live. They are simply there to entertain. So, yeah, what's your excuse? Are you going to keep pushing this? We need to indoctrinate kids. We need to make white people feel ashamed of themselves. We need to make minorities more important when they've already been just as important as white people. You see, folks, Hollywood has lost the plot. They can no longer use the pandemic as an excuse because the pandemic is over. There is no pandemic. As I said, once the vaccine rolled out, once a counter to this pandemic has started and has been effective, the pandemic ended. Its status is no longer pandemic status. So, with that being said, Hollywood cannot complain about the pandemic hurting their movies. When it comes to Black Widow and stuff, when it comes to Shang-Chi about to release, they can't blame the pandemic. And if they do, well, we have a lot of data that we can simply throw in their face saying, look at all these live venues selling out. All these entertainment venues selling out. What's your excuse now? So anyway, folks, that is going to be the video. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. What are your thoughts on how live events are selling out but theaters are going under? Is it because entertainment has become less entertaining and more preaching? Or is it something else? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble.